All right. I guess I got myself together right on time, I suppose. Hello, all. Welcome to Stream. Welcome to this time that I look forward to every week, but now it's become a point of stress because the meeting, everybody wants to talk about something, and you know that person in your class that would 5 minutes before the teacher's like, all right, we're about done, and they're like, hey, I have an important question that very 5 minutes before trying to go, and they're like, hey, I have a question, and then they ask it, and it requires a long explanation, and then you end up going over on time. There's another meeting that I probably should be in, but also like I'm not at that level right now. It started without the people who were running the meeting, but I'm also supposed to be in it. But I have a hard stop on Mondays that is for streaming. Queen Jazz, hello, hello, welcome in. Let me make sure my microphone's working because you never know when things are going wrong. Welcome in, welcome in. Where are you driving? Well, don't text and drive. Be safe on the road. Be safe. I was just explaining how someone in the meeting did the stupid, "Hey teacher, I got a question. It's important," and it makes you have to keep taking notes till up to the time that you're supposed to leave your class. Anyways, it was fine. Ah, yes, opera. What opera are what are which opera? Okay, let's see. All right, I didn't have much of a plan today. I was like, there's no game I really want to play right now on stream. I can't do Enjoy. It's again too peaceful. It's right up there with Tiny Glade. Y'all don't want to hear me snore. Um, but we're gonna look at some music. I really want to work on this particular one. I'm so close to finishing it, but it keeps crashing on me because I guess it's too power. This song's too powerful for my computer. Anyways, how are you doing today? I hope you're doing all right. No texting and driving. Um, yeah. Oh no, let's refresh this. Let's make it not blurry. Refresh. Uh, and then the colors of everyone's name changes, which is weird when I do that. I don't know why that's the situation. Cool. Oh, not a full story and everything. It's just selections. Okay. Well, that's cool, I guess. I've played, amazingly enough, a lot of operas, music, without the singers. It's really cool. Don Giovanni is pretty cool. Um, I'm trying to. Johnny Skiki. That's the one that I remember most. Well, that's really cool, though. Maybe Bella will get good enough to and get to be in the some Met Opera somewhere. Like there's the Met Opera of New York, and then there's the Houston Met, which is really cool. I have a friend in opera. You know, Ophelia's in the Houston Met, which is really cool. She's so good. Anyways, let's write some music. Let's write some music. By the way, were the books good today, Queen Jazz? Also, did you get a chance to play Really Loud Librarians on Easter? I forgot to ask you about that. I know that there was plans and then people couldn't show up because sick. Again, don't text and drive, or do it safely if you're going to, but don't prioritize answering me at all. Oh no, books make you sneeze. That sucks. But true. I didn't know where we were starting from. I just startled myself aggressively. Um, this is all, not even 10. This is not even 10 measures. What? Okay. Let's mute this. And here we're working with up front. Okay. All right, let's take it, I guess, two measure by two measure. It's all I can handle. It really hates this. Okay. Um, is there a reason I didn't extend it all the way? Oh, hey, come back, earthquake hits. Okay. This is so annoying. All right, we've heard those two measures. Let's just skip forward. Let's see how far we make it. We'll make it through this whole line. I am determined. Um, you know what? We'll bypass that because uh, what? I feel like this percussion right here, this one specifically. Why do you feel weird? Also, word. Um, I think I wrote this drum part, and not just wrote it. Obviously, I wrote it. Well, no, not obviously. I wrote it. I played it, and I don't have. I think it was on the keys versus the little pats that I have off to the side, only because I don't know how to use those. I've tried to program it, and so far it's been like, I don't know what you're trying to do. So I just leave them alone. This is a nice keyboard, but I don't know how to use approximately 12 buttons of it, 8 of which would be actually really useful. Okay, so I do see some flaws in my rhythm here, which is, unquantized, something. It's not good. Like I can see there's it just like I could feel it was off, and I just couldn't tell you how. But um, I know this is off. Come here, get done it. Let's start at 68, I guess, which is just the original iteration of this, which is fine. Whew, that's a hot mess. Holy cow. How do I have a degree in music? A degree in music doesn't necessarily require you to be able to write, not to use the computer to write music, but it definitely should at this point. Okay, how can we, okay, we gotta fix this. This is okay. Let's undo that. I don't know what I was trying to do. Undo. Okay, so we need to shift this over. Are we still okay? So my rhythm's not wrong, but where it fell on the beat was, which made it sound sloppy. Cool. Love that. It's just the snare. You're the worst. Okay. Cool. This we're fixing this even if it keeps crashing and burning. It's fine. Um sure. Okay. I really don't want to have to get a new computer just yet. I'm still over here trying to recover from not having a job for almost 2 years. Or at least a well paying job, I should say. I think this needs to be not touched if they're attached to other things. Okay, there we go. Let's put this on the downbeat. Quantize, quantize. What does it mean when your left palm itches? Does that mean there's money coming your way? Because it is incredibly itchy right now. I hope that's a lot of money coming my way. Okay, so then this needs to be on the downbeat. This needs to be on the that there. Okay. So that just tells me that my left hand's real dumb. Or maybe it's my right hand. Unsure. There we go. This should sound better. Sure. I love how these two measures, or maybe even just one measure, is like, I can't do it. It's too much. You're going to do it because I'm going to make you do it. Now suck it up. All right. Which also tells me I probably should have been doing this on this one, but I think I can just copy this down. Why is this doubled? Why? Why are you paired, orchestral kit? What do you? What do we think is? You know what? This is fine. There's not much happening up there. I think that was just. Okay. So that sounds cool. Not sure why this is doubled. Ooh, let's see. I feel like. What do they mean by metal? Okay. So I could have just chosen a better note. Okay, cool. Love that for this. Um, if I move this down. Okay. Okay. Let's grab this one because this is the one I'm not too worried about. Control A. Okay, just Command A. Okay, it did do the thing that yeah. Okay, let's bring this down a half note, half. This is my attempt at some sort of military beat, and I don't know if I succeeded, but I feel like I did. I listened to a lot of uh, soundtracks that had military type, and by soundtracks, I mean probably just the Bourne Ultimatum soundtrack. They had a lot of military beats in parts of that. Maybe I did listen to some other ones. Because I don't know if I've said this, but this piece is one of those that I um, was inspired. Like I wanted to write something that was close, not close, but kind of gave the same energy as the House of Cards theme. This is before Kevin Spacey got weird. But I really love the theme to that show. And so it was I was trying to sort of emulate the the, the style behind it, and then and then, as with everything I try to emulate or just get an inspiration from, it becomes so different. Oh, why did that feel like a hot mess there? Okay, so let's see where the hits go. I understand why I doubled everything. I will say that. I absolutely understand why I was doing this. We're not going to make it through all 8 of these measures, but we're going to attempt to. We're definitely not going to. I'm going to go ahead and save, though, in case it decides to crash hard. Okay, let's not do that even. Let's just start from where we left off. So that just tells me that I need to delete this, copy this, put it here, go here. Because it's the same part, I just didn't repeat it all the way out. Um, okay, let's back up. Excuse me, what happened to you? Did you just forget to show up for the party? Okay. I love this so much. That's okay. We'll go to the next available measure. Now that I think about it, could be a weird ending, but also just was like there the chaos needed to stop and there needs to be a moment of peace, and I think that's what my original thought was on that. Anyways, I extended that stuff out that we can't really listen to consecutively, and might just I say let me hear it back, but I can't. It doesn't let me. It let me hear that much. It just didn't like me doubling everything. I hope you fall down. Just let it be known. Hope you fall down. This is fine. Well, cool. Cool. That's pretty much done. I'll call it done, but not really done. I was just thinking that there's nothing more I really wanted to add. I just wanted to check the drums, and I might go back in and adjust them, but I feel like that'd be mild torture for y'all. Um, let's see. What am I gonna work on now? You know what I want to do? I want to look at the pieces I've written recently. Uh, there's one that I'll come back to, but let's listen to, I guess, Project Choir. No, we're gonna do Queen Jazz 26. It's been a while. I want to hear what it sounds like. I was listening to it the other day, but I want to hear what it sounds like. Sorry, I was too quick on telling it to play. I was like, it's missing important parts. Really, anywhere else in this apartment would have been great for this little gnat, but it decided that my eye was the place to try and touch. Like, there's crumbs on the counter. Go sit over there or something. But my eyeball is like, it is a spot. This is prime real estate. No, it's not. It's your death. I feel like it got more sad than Dark Academia. Is that something I want to tackle? Is trying to rewrite this? Okay, let's see where this goes. Because I would like it to not be near as sad as it feels like. I do love a good resolution. Legit, the first piece that was ever performed that I wrote was based on resolutions, which is actually the other piece I want to go back to because I was like, I will real revisit it. Look, we might come back to that. I don't. I feel like I don't know. We'll come back to that another time. We're gonna go look at the one that I'm talking about now, the resolution, because I don't even think I wrote this on stream. Maybe I did. I don't recall. Um, it wasn't. It's actually a piece that I've already written, but I wrote it for brass quintet, which was fine. Uh, but I see more for at least this resolution piece, which I call plagal, because the most important resolution. These are the three different these are three different types of resolutions. I know there's more, but that I learned in my first semester of music theory. And so you have the perfect cadence, the uh, plagal, and the perfect imperfect. What is? I don't remember. It goes 5-1, 5-6, and then 4-1. That's not what I thought I was going to get when I pressed those buttons. So we're going to try that again. I might actually throw. Let me just let you hear what it sounds like. This is not a good represent. You know what? We're going to put a piano on here because I realize that'll be confusing. Oh no. That that actually made me laugh. I was like, let me let you hear it, and I'm just like, that's not really the goal at the moment. Studio Grand, is that good enough? That goes from 5 to 1. 5 meaning the fifth scale degree. Does this one go from 5? Or am I thinking of it? Oh, no. It's been so long since I've written this. Yeah, okay. Also helps when I know what key I'm in. We're in D minor. And this is. So if you go from A to D, or the chords built on starting with A, and you go to D. I'm not going to talk about the quality in terms of major and minor. Just know that from 5, this is 5, this is 1. Well, the next time we go through, we start from 5, and we go, well, up to 6, but I go down because it's pretty, and I like dark. So and something to be said about how close the notes are. Uh, I started off with a closed note spread, meaning it's all within an octave. But when I go to the second one, to the second uh, um, resolution, I go beyond the octave, making it open, and I think that also adds a lot of warmth, and especially when it's played a little bit lower, and you hit that lower B flat. That right there is what made me write this whole piece. That chord right there. And this is 4. Oh, 4 to 5. Okay, so maybe that's the plagal part. I don't know. Sorry, I'm dealing with the pedals. And so I've written a whole piece around it. It was nice. I used what I had on hand, and I had brass instruments and people who play brass instruments. I don't think I've ever performed my own piece of music because I don't want to be the one to mess it up. In which case, in the recording of this, because there is a recording of the brass quintet playing this, my friend Rachel actually started a whole like 4 measures early on one part. It turned out okay, but I was just like, oof. And I was like, glad that wasn't me. But it was fine. It honestly added some interest to it. A little bit of dissonance that wasn't necessarily there. Maybe that's something I'll do a different stream on, where I play the actual performances of these pieces that I've written. It's so warm. That chord is just so warm when you've been kind of higher, a little bit brighter, and you're just slowly adding on darkness and then warmth. It honestly just like feels like a hug. And there's a whole melody and stuff, but I don't continue this. So here's what I've sort of played with. I also love a perfect loop. I think that's what this line is. Hmm. We can barely hear this. Let's go start here. Let's see what else we can do with this. This is right now luscious ARP layers. Let's change this to. There was one I just saw and then I can't. Okay, there it is. Synth bell cycles. As much as I love that, I think I've written too many pieces with that particular sound. And by too many, I mean minimally one. Maximally one, probably. I hate that. Mm, yeah, no, I felt that one was going to be wrong. Okay. That one hurt my soul just a little bit. Let's go ahead and change that so I don't have to listen to that again. Okay. Now my question is, what happens when we mix. Let's change this though. I want to change this one. What if I make this an actual voice? Oof, not that I want that. That's a low note. Oh, what is the difference between these two? Okay, so then. Okay. Let's go with. Yeah, let's go all in on that. Ooh, what would be what's okay? The question is, what do I consider warmer? Do I consider a choir warmer than a orchestra? I don't know if that's the necessary. That's really the comparison. Let's go with the epic strings for the basses because I need them to feel energized. Mm, that's hilarious, because the instrument that was on this track had an arpeggiator on it. It kept that, and so what we get is this weird sounding strings and this phaser and stuff delay. Finally, jeez. In which case, I want to lower this down an octave. One octave. in which case I don't like that one. Well, that's been a fun experiment. I don't even want to save that because I like the original. Meaning, let's go back and none of this is going to be saved. It's going to have the original instruments because I do like this vibe, and also I really like deep rumbly bass. Cool, love that. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. The string version is nice, but it's also strings again, and that's I've done that a lot, and that's okay. Um there was something I was wanting to look at. Oh, let's go look at the other one. That is the other piece that I wrote recently, called "Picture of a Crook." It's the other username based piece that I've written. I've only done two, but honestly, some of my favorites I've done. Oh, what is this? It wasn't ready. Hang on a second. Interesting. I managed to only do that in 9 measures or 8 measures through measure 8. Fascinating. We're going to go ahead and save that. I did make a little change to the volume. Okay. All right. Just wanted to look at those two real quick. I think I finished Project Choir. I think is the statement. Is it? I don't know. Let's go look at it. I do like Project Choir. I think I finished it. I just need to put the finishing touches on it. Not that I know what those are. I have no idea what that means. But let's listen to what we have so far. You know what? That's a good time for it to do that action again. Hmm. Is there anything? I feel like this little section right here could use maybe. Hold up. I really liked having this one measure lead into this. What just happened? Undo. I haven't done anything. Why is the piano all screwed up? What? Something has happened. We're not going to save this. The piano's absolutely just murdered itself, and I don't know why. What? Feels like you're not good with me right now, laptop. Yeah, the piano said, what if I unwrote myself? Yeah, I don't really know what I would add here. Which maybe tells me maybe it's not necessary. Um, let's try that again. So, you really can't hear that super low note. Boom, boom. Um, boom. If I go pizzicato right here. Okay, let's. Oof. All right, record. Huh. I thought I would try something like a Hawkit or something, but then I decided, nah. I like it. I like it how it is. And so that, I think I'm gonna call that one also pretty much done. Like there's some cleanup, some stuff I might want a little throw in there just for some interest, but also like I think it's pretty done. Um, I don't. I don't think I've ever introduced y'all to the dubstep piano. Is what it's called. It was called. It was a Flash thing you could go a Flash website you could go to, and they gave you some samples, and you could actually write little pieces with these samples, which is really cool. I don't know how loud this is going to be. I've turned it down because it is the samples were loud because I managed to download them like several years before Flash was deprecated and fully just like not available anymore on the internet, which some people have managed to keep it going. You can still find the game continuity on with the music and everything, which is my favorite part about the game. Also, it's just a fun game, and I've beat it. But it's a you can still find that on certain websites, maybe at a smaller resolution, but it's still available to play. It's such a fun game. But the music is my favorite part of that. But I had some samples, and I'm gonna go through through the samples, and I decided I really wanted to make it correct here. So let's see. I don't know how this is gonna sound. Back in the day, I was a stone cold warrior. Looks are deceiving, your eyes don't deceive me no more. I don't know where some of these samples came from. None of these, honestly. I don't know if they were just things that people sung, came from a different song already. I have no idea. This is just what was part of the thing. So I chose no bass line apparently. I chose one beat and then two vocal lines and then one like synth line. Uh, I don't know which is which. I think this is the others. This is the other voice line. The synth line, I think, is this one. Yeah. And my favorite part is that they actually synced it for you. Like you could press a button and it would sync in the Flash program. And so I didn't have to worry about syncing everything, but on here I did. And I was like, this is hard. But I managed to get it all together. And then the beat is this. And I spent hours, and I mean hours. And I even have, or I used to have sticky notes. Actually, I still have a sticky note somewhere around there telling me which key produced that sound so I could make it again if I go back to the website. And up until recently, I could. But then, of course, they killed Flash. But this is what that whole sample set that I created. I don't know if it's fully correct. Why is it still so messed up? Let's see. This isn't correct still. I was in the process of doing this. I don't think I finished it. Let's see if we can fix it. Let's get rid of the voices. Because it's definitely an issue between this and that. If I move it over one, that's incorrect still. I need to move it over just a little. Like, I need it to be. Welcome. Hi. I wish Twitch would give me notifications like just on my computer and not just within Twitch if I were ever on the website so I could see when you're streaming. And I know when you're streaming, but sometimes I'm either focused on work and I'm not paying attention to the time. A lot of times that happens, weirdly enough. But I'm upset that I keep missing your streams because I'm like, I want to see these games that I'm never going to play. But I'm gonna try and make it. I today actually went to your page and I was like, I'm going to look at the schedule and make sure, and then put it on my schedule, like a little reminder on my computer, just to be like, here, streaming now, because Twitch doesn't do that. It's picture of a crook. Hello. Because I really want to watch your streams. Oh, that's right. I should definitely do that because I do watch. Honestly, I go through phases of watching certain videos, certain creators on repeat. Like I love Gray Still Plays. All his videos are fantastic, but his GTA videos, because I have an unhealthy obsession with GTA Online. I watch those videos of him doing the most insane, impossible courses. And today I watched the same video twice. And I was like, I need to find something else to watch. Sometimes I go to Smosh, but a VOD is good. I do love a VOD. So, and that also means I don't have to change every 30 minutes to an hour. So that's going to be great. But yeah, just I'm trying to get this beat right. It sounds like a hot mess. This is from a Flash Player dubstep piano thing that was on the internet long ago, probably before YouTube. In fact, I think this may have been way back in 2001, 2002. I'm trying to think when because I feel like I was still working at Lamar in some capacity, but not LIT. It's not an LIT gig. Anyways, it was a truly. But yeah, I had this dubstep piano and I loved playing on this particular website that had the dubstep piano. I think it was like dubsteppiano.com. I don't know. It doesn't exist anymore because Flash doesn't exist. But I had saved the clips of the ones that I really liked, and I'm trying to combine them correctly. But somehow the beat is not working and it makes me sad. So I'm trying to fix that, but it's harder than I anticipated. And I know it's just about when to start it. And I'm trying to think, but it's maybe it was just weird altogether, and it started like half a beat before it really should have. I'm trying to figure it out. So that's what's happening here. Sorry for the chaos that's about to happen in your ear holes. The ending actually told me I'm actually very close. Like I'm on beat. I just need to figure out. Let's drop this here. Okay, let's move this over. One, two. No. Okay, so I think it actually ends together, which is a weird thing for it to do. Let's see. Almost together. And what if we go. And the problem is that I don't know the beat. I don't know something that I need probably. And so I'm just out here struggling. Like it's so close. I feel it's so close. Because there was a bit of an echo. A little bit of an echo. Maybe. Okay, I need the snap to stop. That's my issue right now. Is like I'm trying to do micro things, and it's like, but what if we make it smart and you just snap to the beat? And I'm like, it's not it. I forgot I could do this. Great. Now I can make small changes and get there. Instead of starting there, I want to hear the ending because the ending is what matters here. Like the app itself or the program on the website, you could press the button and it would sync it for you. But I don't know at what point it actually synced it, and so I don't know. I'm trying to do this here because I need it to be correct. Okay, so then we're close. It's not 100%, I don't think. So let's hear the whole sample, the whole set. I guess it starts here. Even that's not correct. Like I thought it was, but now I'm listening to it. I'm like, no. There was crossover, and they did sing within each other's lines. Man, this is having to pull from memory and figure out how this go fits here. Actually, that's pretty close. It's pretty. I don't think I can do any better on that. What I will do is cut this short. And then if we throw this in, yeah, that's still off. And I'm not, I hate it. Like, it's so close to being correct, but also like, and maybe it also made it all the same speed, like the same tempo, so I didn't have to worry about. But even then, all it did was sync it. I have the files as they came from the website. Again, not sure where they're from. Anyways, this has been a fun experiment on this particular song. Let's go work on something that I actually wrote and not just Frankenstein together. By the way, Picture of a Crook. Here's your piece. We're gonna play it again because you're here now. Your namesake. I mean, it'll open eventually. Goodness gracious. Oh. Progress bars are the worst. Sorry. Again, I was too quick to try and make it play. It wasn't done loading. Okay. Mysterious. Giving a noir vibe. Honestly, I am so happy that I managed to get somewhat close to noir. When I have like 5 of these, or maybe I'll just start putting them on Bandcamp, or if I master one well enough, I'm gonna put it on streaming services. But I've never done that because that feels weird. Absolutely, and I absolutely need an artist to create, or maybe photo picture. Oh, absolutely, I'm here for the loop. I think this actually works. Oh, we'll see. I do want to publish this for people because I think it's very fun and also just so pretty. There was something I wanted to look at, and I want to see if I can do something with it. Is it Orb, the very first piece of music I ever wrote? No, it's not in this folder for probably good reason. Though, real quick, I want to jump here because I decided I have 3 different versions of this piece probably at this point. It's called Rinsp. Why it's called Rinsp, I don't know. But it's not a typo. It's not supposed to be an E. It's something inspiration, rock inspiration, maybe Rachmaninoff inspiration, but I shortened it down to just Rinsp. It's been this way for too long. I don't know. Anyways, there's 2 different versions of this on this same track. There's the full orchestra version, which I love, and then there's the what I call, well, it's just the flamenco version, I guess, but I think it's probably too slow. But I decided the other day I wanted that version so I could listen to it in the car on repeat. which I just love that. I've found that if you play certain instruments um, built into Logic Pro, that when you get below their range, they give you different effects. And one of those is a hit on the guitar with your palm. The other is the the strum, the slow strum. I don't know what to call it. I don't know guitar terms. It's the That's not the instrument I want to be on. Let's. I guess it's more like the arpeggio. It's the line, and but it doesn't read as such on the thing. Ooh, which line is that on? It's not on this one, this one, this one. It's somewhere on these last three, and it's not on this one. I don't think it's on this one. Like that's just something I discovered that you could do when you have on certain guitars and stuff. So this one I discovered that if you go above the range, it gives you the hit with the palm. Which wasn't the intention because the actual line is. Oh, did I move it down here? I did. On a different. What is the. Give me the notes. And that's all this is supposed to be. But I was like, I have that, and so it changed the melody altogether. I just realized this isn't looped. This is just two different lines that I played at the same time. So that's cool. And then I said, let me have some atmosphere and bass. What do these sound like? Because I haven't listened to these in a hot minute. So now I'm like, what does this area sound like? We can close these off, and by close them, I just mute them. The rest of these were standard, though I do know I did move this particular line down. Hey, large mouse, big. I'm right here, right here. Anyways, this line I definitely moved from up here, but let's see what this sounds like. So something else I discovered about this is that you can have automation, but it's not really. It's just an arpeggiator. It does a lot of the work for you. You don't have any control over it, but you just get to enjoy the trip. What is my instrument here? Okay, that's fine. And now I don't know if I actually have the oboe and the English horn. I do, so that's interesting to learn now. Let's do this where we don't mute it. Okay. I had a goal. Who are you? All this to say is that this turned into a different piece with a wholly different vibe. Um, I think I called it Desert House, which honestly, not even an original piece name for me. Uh, that's Rinse Editable is the name of the file. I really should get better at this. That's this piece. I recognize that it's a little bit weird. And let me tell you, this line right here, these synth bells, I don't know what they did, what they're on, but they have hits of bass in there that made me write this piece of music. Like I thought, oh, this is cool, and I thought I just really enjoyed the bells, but then it started hitting that bass in there. There's no bass anywhere at this point, but it's part of the synth bell cycle. Oh yeah, this there's two different versions of this. I don't know where the other one is, but having the sitar in here also allowed me to play around with different sounds because sometimes you have the instrument but it doesn't play the notes that you put down because it's not capable in real life, and so it actually changes it to something it can do. And there's a couple of other instruments I've come across and I've written with that have that same issue. In fact, it's started other pieces of music that I've written trying to remember what's one of those that I think it was. I think it was The Rock. That one was one of those where I was like, "Oh, that's not what I wrote down." No, 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 no. It's the other one that I was writing with again, the theme song to House of Cards in mind. In fact, that one's probably the closer one, and it's not that anymore. Like that's supposed to be a flat note, but it's not capable of playing that, or maybe that's the articulation that I hit on there because of how hard I hit it, and so it made it natural. I was like, that's an interesting sound, but it does kind of stand out in the grand scheme of the synth sound of this piece of music. So I don't know if it really fits, but I really like it, and I don't really care. And also, with some of these synths and instruments you can choose, sometimes there's little quirks of it that I end up playing off of because I really like that moment, and sometimes I try to bring it out. And that's what happens here when you hear like a, let's see if I can point it out. That high note at the end of the measure or the phrase. Ooh, I have changed this original file. This is not what the actual published version of it sounds like. It's pretty fun though. Um, but yeah, that piece has there's a lot of thought, maybe overthinking. Maybe this is what it sounds like when you overthink writing music. I don't think I care that much though. Um, I want the two marimba piece. I don't know why I want to hear that right now. Not sure why. Oh, smooth is the one that actually utilizes the fact that the instrument can't play a note. So we're gonna go visit smooth real quick. Mm, I don't know what I was doing. It looks dicey. What? Let's hear it. Whew. Let's just bring that right on over here. Did I turn? No, I didn't do the thing that I was trying to do. We're not gonna turn on the. We're gonna turn this on. We get to hear what this sounds like in its current state. This is not how it started off at all, or how it was for the longest time. This is me trying to fix it. What do the drums sound like? Interesting. That is a choice. Hey, Queen Jazz, welcome back. Well, thank you. It's weird. I know it gets weird. I was trying to fix it and then I stopped. The drums got weird. I can tell because I wrote them. Though this one is a good one right here. What do we mean by time and phrasing? These drums are killing me. Okay, then we kind of go back to where we came from. But this is one of those instruments, the Japanese string movement on here does not have the capability of playing what was totally just straight chords on an arpeggiator. I think it's these chords right here. Let's see. Let's go back. Sure, it'll sound like we're in Silent Hill. Where can I bring these to? Can we go up here? Is this what you are? That's all this was supposed to be. But what we got over here when I went to play it, I was like, that's not what we're. In fact, you can see that it's still just the long notes that I was playing off of. That I was just like, let's just see how it goes. You can see it's just the chords. Don't do that. Just let me move you. There we go. But it doesn't play some of the notes where you think they would. So if I move this up here to the Steinway, I forgot how jazzy this was actually supposed to be. And then it said, what if no jazz for you? And I was like, I forgot what it even sounds like. Let's go. I don't know what this was, honestly, at this point. But I fell in love with this. Interesting. I didn't change as much as I thought I did, but also changed like key things, so it's now weird. And I don't know. And I feel like I'm gonna have to start from the beginning, kinda like start from where I actually started taking samples of my recordings, so I could listen to them to figure out what I want to do with them. I think that's where I am. I want to go back to that point, or I don't even know the name of that file. What was that? Smooth. Yeah, smooth version 3. That's the correct version. When it was still harp, which honestly I think going back to the harp but adding some effects to it would be a really good idea. So maybe I'll go back and do that. Maybe I could do it as a collaboration, just for myself. Just for myself. There's some of these I'm like, I don't remember these. Mock marriage. There's a piece from like the Renaissance period that teaches us how the English language works now. Oh yeah, for sure. Trying to go, it is forever weird to go back and look at old notes, old anything, and go, where was my brain at? Even like weeks later, I'm just like, my mind is not in that same state. I don't know if I'm okay. I shouldn't have opened this one. I don't even want to explain it at this point. There's a whole video that explains why I have that, and I don't want to. I wanted this. Give me this. I want to go to this one because I want to hear something. Is this? Yeah, this is it. So I wrote this piece in college the first time, and it's just. We're only going to do the first part. It feels a lot longer, but it's not. I guess it could be more measures if I didn't put it in like 9/8. I could have just gone 3/4 and probably would have been fine. Anyways, I wrote it for two marimbas. They had one rehearsal, and then the performance the next day was wild. Let's fix that. I find I don't necessarily enjoy the sound of the BBC Symphony Orchestra at times, but that's probably because I just don't know how to use it. And that's okay. I do, kinda. I really want to know how to use it right. At least it sounds better than the original strings that I had. Remember, you're so loud. We're going to pause there because this is the part that I want to hear. No other part, honestly. From here to. Let me have this. There we go. Here. I feel like this is some of my best work right here. And maybe the measures after that, but definitely some of my best work in terms of everything. Like, even I don't even want to hear the marimbas at this point. I understand they are the stars, but sometimes the stars need to shut up. On more than one occasion, I have cut the star out of, like, I have a little folder called snippets because I just want that little section of the song that I love the most. I've cut Janet Jackson out of This Time. Like, she wasn't singing in it at that point, but that's the part that I particularly like. Like, the rest of the song's fine. It's fine. But she had to be cut because I wanted that middle section where it was very operatic. And so I have that. I've cut Korn out of their own song. I didn't want to hear them. I wanted to hear that middle section. Ooh, okay, hold up. Let's back up. Okay, I'll give them. Here, this is what's happening in the marimba and why I'm about to cut them out. It's like the second one just never shut up. Now, get out of here, marimba. It's the play between the instruments. And this was particularly written for pizzicato at this point. And then it gets to be bowed. Also hitting that low note down there. That was goals. And let me tell you what's wild is that I will put this on while I'm working, just this section, and then forget about it and hum with it the entire 6 to 8 hours it's playing until I either get tired of it and I'm like, man, I've been listening to this one little section of like 6 measures for hours. In fact, I actually cut out the violin. maybe that's part of the fun is seeing how it all comes together. Like any one of these parts is moderately interesting. Why is there so much space? You know what? This is fine. So like, even the bass is like pretty cool. But then there's a lot of gap. But then when it comes back in, it's just like, how fun is that? But it also, you have to have the cello to get that feeling too. Because the cello doesn't work without the bass, which is so fun to think about. Because you need the bass to get the full effect of this. I really like that interval that they play when they join in together again. Boom, 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 boom. And then the viola comes in hot. I feel like the viola is also one of the most underrated instruments. So I tend to do that with instruments and voices that don't get usually a lot of attention. And that's why the viola has this particular part. And so as we add these voices together, but then you also, unfortunately, and by unfortunately, I'm like, the first violins just come in so loud and high. That's cute. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, the violin part coming in, going up high, honestly is like drama. And then you continue on, which honestly is a fantastic piece. I will say that was inspired by like songs I was playing in band and a couple of other places. I don't think I fully fixed this. This is the other part that I'm just like, man, this actually started off as a different piece of music, and I am forever thrilled by it. It was part of something else, and parts of that piece of music that it was all part of, it's gone to two different full pieces that have been performed. This, let me tell you, I'm very excited about the marimba part here. Like, and this is the part that they definitely did not get after one rehearsal. That part combined with the bass line, which the bass line, again, this used to be a different piece of music, kind of. And then I kind of went crazy at the end here. I was like, we're transitioning somewhere. But also, I don't know if it was necessarily easy to understand, but I passed around the trilled notes that it started off in the violins, and then it goes up to the marimbas, then it goes to the the violas. You know, just undo that. That's so much faster. Uh, Went down. It got passed around that. Yeah, that was really fun. I really enjoyed the process of writing this piece. And then I up to a point, and this is probably that point, because I don't really know what happens. Like, I barely remember, aside from creating a German Russian sixth chord that my teacher named. It's like, you created something here, and I'm like, it sounds weird, but here it is. The amount of work I had to put in to make that roll. I had to actually play this roll out, and I was like, I don't know how to play this. So I literally made my fingers into sticks and just played how it would be done. Because I spent too long in high school with too many band classes in my final semester because I didn't have enough I had taken all the courses I needed, aside from like the last English and science course, and then I had to add a history course. But in my first half of the day, I had been going over to the other school in town for the computer classes, the computer programming classes I was in, but I had to drop out because I didn't have enough courses. Anyways, that means I had to come back. I couldn't continue on with that programs because I just wanted to graduate. And so I ended up having 5 band classes. I had first through 5th period band classes, only one of which is the actual one I played my flute in. And then after that, I had history, English, and then physics. I had 5 periods of band, and that's a lot. And so I taught myself 4 mallet marimba. And so I took that knowledge from that. Look, what else was I going to be in? I'm not going to take a random course just because I wanted an easy A or to sleep. And I did. And I was also self-taught, so it means not very well done. Anyways, I had to I had to do the rolls here because I needed it to, because before it was just like, and I'm just like, ugh. I need it to sound how it sounds in real life. Ugh. What I need to do is roll either top marimba or, yeah, top marimba. That chord right there is what my teacher named the German Russian sixth. It's a weird chord, but it was interesting, and I was like, I'm not changing it. Then we have a standard waltz that I will put in every piece of music if I can. Like, the whole rest of this doesn't make sense, and I never went back to what I liked about it, and I became pretty ambivalent about the rest of it. But at the beginning, I'm like, that's incredible. I'm here for it. So, and you can tell when I get ambivalent about something, because then I'm like, I'm done listening to this now. Let's go on to something else. and that is how I will sit. Hey. Um, what's the best harmony on TikTok? What is this? I feel like it doesn't actually sound good. I'm scared. Well, it's hard to tell when. Actually, the last one sounded really good. Where the last portion sounds, you can actually hear the resonance of it, but it was actually three people singing, one of which is Jacob Collier and his incredible ability to do notes. Um, but it was a beautiful just run, and I don't do that with my singing. Honestly, could go without it. But also, I see perks in having it. Uh, what I really want to finish this one. Like it was kind of finished, and then I said, what if I don't? What do we have? I don't even know what this sounds like at this point. I guess the drums are interesting or important. Interesting. I remember the first half. So this ended up being, it's called chorale because the ending part very is giving hymn. It's a hymn in church. The first part is giving something else, and then the part at measure 10 is giving dark. Like if I just cut this off and separated it out, I love it. And it doesn't help that this was also written with choir in mind. I love a shuffle. Honestly, I was just super proud of my bass line on this whole thing. Like honestly, it all plays together. In fact, let's if we leave out this piano part right here, you'll get the original and the drums, I guess. This is the original form of this. And then it, of course, goes on to the end. I tell you what, I think my best class, my favorite class I ever took in my degree is definitely my counterpoint class because I find that counterpoint is so interesting and fun. Because you can do all sorts of things. This was a pretty basic line, and I always write from the bottom up. I realize that it's very rare if I write from the top down. I'll write from the bottom, then jump to maybe like almost the top, then and then one below that, and then we might hear some treble out here. This is wild that this is the original form. What was my best class then if counterpoint is not? You know what? I hope you fall down. I get the joke. hold up. Let's hear this piano because I don't like I wrote this, but I don't recall writing it. I'm kind of proud of these chords right here. That's pretty cool. Anyways, it's time to end stream. I needed a chill stream and I didn't want to have to think too hard, but also I thought I needed to think harder, but not that hard. It's been a day. I love when I get a request from work that's like, hey, I need you to take these parts and do things in this particular program that require part numbers, but no part numbers. You don't get part numbers. Have a good day. And I'm like, part numbers are my thing. Don't take that away from me. So I didn't do it because part numbers are important. Anyways, this has been a lot of fun. Thank y'all for coming to stream. I will let this piece play out. I hope y'all have a great rest of your Monday and a great rest of your week. And I'll catch y'all next week where we'll be playing a game. We'll see which one. I don't know. You know what? I hope you fall down, Queen Jazz. Have a great week, y'all. Thank y'all for coming. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now.